this special Board of Trustees meeting. At this time, I'd like to call on Mrs. Ammerman to call the roll, please.
Trustees Alexander, Allen, Arnell, Broadhurst, Clemens, Corbett, Cotner, Dambly, Deviney, Eckel, Erickson, Frazier, Gregg, Hayes, Hentz, Huber, Corey, Lubert, Lubrano, Mosser, McCumbee, Myers, Peets, Schaefer, Silvis, Strumpf, Suey, Surma, Talaferro, Tamales, and Brandstetter.
Is there anyone else on the phone who wasn't announced?
Yes.
Some came in later.
Okay.
John Surma, Ken Frazier. John
Yeah,
Surma.
come on, sorry.
Ken Frazier.
Ken Frazier's here also.
Keith Eckel, Jim Broadhurst.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the first order of business is to announce that the Board of Trustees met in executive session earlier this afternoon to receive an update from legal counsel. As noted in the announcement of the special meeting, the purpose of this special meeting is for the Board of Trustees to consider a resolution that would authorize the legal subcommittee of the Committee on Legal and Compliance to approve settlements of civil claims against the university. Our counsel have advised that it is not legally necessary for the Board of Trustees or any committee of the board to approve settlements of civil litigation against the university. Under the university's charter and bylaws, this is an administrative matter. That said, under the special circumstances surrounding these cases, and in the view of the fact that the amount of the settlements individually and in the aggregate could be significant, some level of board oversight is appropriate and advisable. It's not practical or required in order for us as trustees to fulfill our fiduciary duty, however, for the entire board to provide that oversight. As a board, we have many other items on our agenda. On the other hand, the legal subcommittee has been deeply immersed in the facts of these cases and has evaluated the university's litigation strategy in great detail. The subcommittee is small enough to be able to convene on short notice. The legal subcommittee will report, of course, to the full board on a regular basis, as it has been doing since its inception. I think that the board has a great deal of trust and confidence in the members of the legal subcommittee, all of whom are lawyers themselves. For those reasons, it's being proposed that the board adopt the resolution authorizing the legal subcommittee to approve settlements of the civil claims against the university. Before we act on this, I'd like to ask Ira Lubert, chair of the legal subcommittee, to say a few words. Ira.
Thank you. I can do it for my chair, Karen, please. I'd just like to correct the record. Two of the members of the legal committee, myself and Keith Eccles, are not attorneys. So I just want to make sure we clarify that. The legal subcommittee has been meeting since early February on a weekly basis, working with our lawyers to craft the strategy. And today is the culmination of that strategy. We're going to introduce some members of our legal team and also Ken Feinberg and Mike Rosen that we've hired to represent us as neutrals. These are not working for us, to help facilitate the settlements of these cases if possible. I just think instead of hearing from me, we should call upon Ken and Michael to give a little bit about their background, what they've done, and what they see here. Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Ken Feinberg of Feinberg-Rosen. This is Mike Rosen of Feinberg-Rosen. We're also joined here with Camille Byros, of our colleague of ours who's standing there as well. I just want to make three very quick points to the board, one, following up on what Ira just said. First, we've been retained by Penn State to help facilitate settlements in each case. We have no authority whatsoever to bind Penn State to do anything. We can't order a settlement, we can't compel a settlement, nor can we compel any particular plaintiff lawyer to accept a settlement. We're here to facilitate, to help, to mediate, to help, if we can, resolve individual cases. Second, unlike our work in things like the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund or the BP oil spill fund, this is not a process where Penn State has instructed us, here's an aggregate amount of money, go allocate it. That is not what we've been instructed to do. There is no fund. We have separate individual cases, and Penn State and each plaintiff lawyer and client will evaluate the settlement terms and conditions that are being offered, and each side will decide for itself whether in that particular case we want to reach a consensual resolution. There may be 3, 4, 9, 12 cases that are settled. There may be 1, 5, 10, 18 cases that are not settled. Each case stands on its own. Each case will be evaluated on the merits. Each case will either be resolved or not resolved. And finally, Penn State will decide for itself in each particular case how much information it needs to evaluate in order to decide whether it is appropriate to try and resolve the dispute. The amount of information that Penn State will request is entirely up to Penn State. And Penn State is entitled, as is each plaintiff lawyer entitled, to seek information that will guide it in deciding whether or not to settle the case. So in sum, we're glad, we're honored by Penn State requesting our assistance. We're honored to be working with these individual plaintiff lawyers, and we will see over time whether all of the disputes get resolved, none of the disputes get resolved, some of the disputes get resolved. That will be up to Penn State and each plaintiff lawyer representing a particular client. Mike?
Let me just add, excuse me, 2 quick points. In terms of how many claims there are out there, at present, we are aware of, and I say aware of because it may be just very, very general information conveyed to us by counsel for the claimants, that there are somewhere between 20 and 25 claimants at present that we're aware of. That number may increase. That number may, in fact, decrease, depending on whether or not it turns out that these are, in fact, victims of Mr. Sandusky. We don't know. We expect to gather more information as we go through, but that is the number as we stand here right now. And secondly, I would emphasize that all of the counsel for all of the victims so far have engaged with Ken and me in the utmost of good faith. All of them saying that they are ready, willing, and able to have discussions, not concluding that there will be an outcome that satisfies either them or the university. That's, as Ken said, within the power and decision-making of each of the claimants and the university on its behalf. But all of them have agreed to engage in a process, and we are moving that process forward as we speak.
Anybody have any questions for Ken or Michael? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Steve Dunham, did you want to say anything? No? Okay. Anyone have any questions for Steve? Okay. Well, at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion for the adoption of the resolution that was distributed to you. Okay, thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Because we have folks on the conference call, what we're going to need to do is a roll call vote. Okay, sorry about that. So I'll ask Paula to do that. Yes. Okay, so any discussion? Yes.
I was prepared not to support the resolution before I arrived today, and though I have some misgivings about some things, given the discussion we just had, just want all of you to know that I am going to support the motion.
Good. The one thing I would also say is we had a discussion in the prior meeting about adding one more trustee to the committee, and Adam Telefero is going to be that trustee, assuming he has the time and the ability to make all the meetings, which happen every Monday. So we'll hear back from Adam about that. Okay, so Paula, would you like to take the vote?
Yes. Trustees Alexander. Yes. Allen. Arnell.
Yes.
Broadhurst.
Yes.
Clemens. Corbett. Cotner. Dambley. Deviney. Eckel.
Yes.
Erickson. Frazier.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Hayes. Hintz.
Here. Yes.
Huber.
Yes.
Corey. Lubert. Lubrano. Mosser. McCumbee. Myers. Peets.
Yes.
Schaefer. Silvis. Strumpf. Suey. Surma.
Yes.
Telefero. Tamales. Thank you.
Okay, let the record reflect that a motion is approved with a majority vote. Thank you for being here today, and there being no other items of business, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Bye-bye.